Welcome back to ShotGaming.com Steam Shots. Each week we look at the last 5 games released on Steam, all in a row with no skipping. On this episode we have Fingering Donuts, I Need a Hero, Neon Zombie Streets, Super IRS Fighter 2, and Victorian Jedi Witches. So let's start the show. Decopins 2 is a sequel to a tower defense game about flicking things. Decopin means flicking in Japanese apparently, and it's a term of endearment with friends and close acquaintances. Japan's a strange place. Well, I interviewed Pendleton Ward, the creator of Adventure Time, and he told me he tried to get a joke past the censors. It was one where BMO folds his hands and points with both fingers and then jabs at Finn's butt. Yeah, that's another gesture between friends in Japan.
Goosing someone is when you just go like that to their butt cheeks or wherever. And they said we couldn't do that. And I was like, because we had already shown Finn's butt a couple times, and so I didn't know what the problem was.
Well, anyways, this game isn't about butts. It's about flicking donuts who are trying to advance on your position. It's a tower defense game that comes off more like a cookie clicker game, just with extra dexterity required. I am wailing on that clicking button right now, and it's not doing very good. This is a strange one. I mean, it is well made, but ultimately clicking on the donuts with either a clunky joystick or a more accurate mouse is pretty exhausting. Not to mention tedious. Each level has a lot of clicking. The whimsy of the game is quickly eaten away by this. You can get new upgrades through leveling up and fight other food items, but there really isn't much to this one. The game seems to understand this as the first one, and this sequel is pretty cheap. It's a cute idea, but I'm gonna go stick my fingers into something else. In Search of Heroes is an action roguelike with a castle building mechanic. This pixelated action game has a strange control configuration though. You have to manually turn left and right to decide which direction you attack towards. This seems a little bit off because you can't aim up or down, even though you can move in any direction. It's a strange mix of twin stick shooting that's limited to horizontal only. I mean, how am I supposed to get down there and get this dog thing? Well, you can get new weapons and armor, along with potions that increase your skills. Well, such as attacking in more of an arc or doing long-range attacks. The upgrade system is a bit confusing. You have 3 main slots, and you can keep upgrading the secondary skills or just pick a new one. The combat is very cat and mouse. If you rush into it, you're likely to die. So hanging back makes way more sense. You can desecrate the corpses of your enemies to sometimes find extra goodies. My grandpa always said, there's no shame in robbing the dead. He was a good guy, just a lousy mortician. You can destroy nearly everything in the level, both creatures and the walls themselves. Or just seek out these end-of-level objects. They're usually something like a gate or sometimes a hard-to-spot whatever this exit is. Once you reach them, you can keep delving deeper or return to your castle when you've had enough adventuring. Back at the old keep, you can use your coins to purchase new upgrades or build rooms for the random adventures you can run into. Oh, this archer is a lot easier to control. I mean, now we're twin sticking. This guy actually makes some of the bosses a little bit too easy. It is kind of neat how you can get different items, and it's fun to watch your castle grow. But this one is quite early, but it offers a lot of fun gameplay to sink your teeth into. Well, I'm going to wishlist it, but don't expect it to be ready anytime soon. Dead Blitz is a first-person roguelike set in a dystopian neon city. Well, I love this kind of retro design. The neon colors, it's all neat stuff. The world itself is large and full of early 2000s style arena mechanics. Like these jump pads and dispensers which shoot out healing orbs. Your character also has some impressive movement tech. You can double jump, dash, wall run, and use a grappling hook to swing around. Oh, I love swinging. When you get into a groove, it feels great, but when something isn't working, it's kind of frustrating. What am I even doing here? Did I end up in the neon backrooms? As a roguelike, it has endless waves of enemies, and boy, I tell you, these enemies look like generic asset flips. You've got some zombie thing, a person, that's just a person. You also have this beefy zombie and these robots. They seem a lot like other players. They shoot the enemies sometimes, but they also shoot you. I don't know what their story is, or if they're even helping me. I will say they are as dumb as the zombies though, so the character AI is overall lacking. The combat feels good and in line with most arena shooters, just this game is single player only. The roguelike power-ups are kind of generic and I wasn't sure what to do or where to go during a wave. Well, I don't even know how a level ends. I just kind of ran around for about half an hour shooting largely brain-dead enemies until I got bored. The movement tech also betrays the rather simple level design. There just isn't much I need to zip around these levels for. More so with the enemies, who appear more confused than Joe Biden after the sun goes down. The full game wants a bloated $25, which makes me want to pass on this blitz even more. Tax Force is a hand-drawn action roguelike platformer about beating taxes out of mutant billionaires. In a clear satire of Judge Dredd, you play the role of a tax agent and have to make politically confusing moral choices. In a system that seems a bit too complicated for its own good, you can purchase cards that grant you PR, but also put you in debt. The game stresses being in debt is bad, forcing you to decide on sound economic choices instead of just doing good things for the people. Well, as an example, to help this motley crew not die from easily treated medical conditions, you can go into debt to provide the bare minimum of healthcare for them? Well, I mean, that doesn't make much sense to me. I thought we were collecting taxes from billionaires. Why is there a debt problem? We'd save money doing Medicare for all. This isn't even a moral choice. This is the sound economic choice. Also, why would I spend my precious PR points to go into debt just to arrest the parents of kids who are truant? For Judge Dredd satire, it seems to be missing a lot of key points of that satire. Weird economics aside, this game absolutely nails the aesthetics of comic book art. The characters are unique and the landscapes are downright beautiful. The combat is good too. I mean, it feels like Comix Zone, a solid beat 'em up from the 16-bit era.
We will live another day.
Comix Zone, only for Sega Genesis.
The roguelike elements don't come across that well in the demo. There is a time limit of 7 days, but the demo kind of stops before you can see where these choices go. Well, I'm all for beating up billionaires, but this tax force needs a few more tax dollars before I buy in. Withering Rooms is a procedurally generated 2.5D horror game. You might recognize this from Call Me Kevin, who covered it a few weeks ago.
You might just be playing The Withering Rooms.
But to be fair to us, he isn't covering every game released on Steam. Hey, Kevin, DM me if you want to collaborate. You could use the Shot Gaming boost. In the game, you play as a Victorian child stuck in some kind of dream world ruled by magic and monsters. As explained by these friendly witches who, oh my god, they burn you alive. Well, I guess they had to kill you to explain that this world is actually magic. When you die, you wake up at the start, often missing key items or weapons you picked up. Oh yeah, you get weapons. This little girl is a full-on Dark Souls style dodging, rolling, stabbing warrior. I mean, these are advanced moves. I mean, look at this. Well, I don't see how these monsters stand a chance against, I died again. If you don't feel like head-on combat, you can sneak around and hide in Abbott and Costello level hiding places. Oh man, they're never gonna find me here. I mean, hey, they found me. Oh well, the nightmare begins again. This game is legitimately creepy. Weird monsters leap out of beds, they run in from other rooms, or just pop up and laugh like that Toasty guy from Mortal Kombat. Toasty! They get pretty terrifying, as you're really not meant to stand up to them in combat. Your goal is to explore the mansion, unravel the mysteries, craft items and spells, and eventually escape. Well, I don't care for spooky games much. I hate getting spooked. It just scares me. I don't want to be scared, but if this is your jam, this is one of the better ones. Well, that wraps up another episode of Steam Shots. Another 5 games shipped away from the new release list. If you like the show and want to keep exploring the dredges of Steam with us, well, just hit that like button and subscribe. We do a new video every Friday. If you found a game from the show, drop a comment and tell us about it. I always like to hear when we help people find new games. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This pixelated action game has a strange control configuration, though. You have to God damn it.